Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 44 of the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast. I'm Christine.
And I'm Sam.
I had to think if it was 43 or 44, and I have it right in front of me on the outline. I don't know why I didn't scroll up and look.
That's just not how you roll.
Yeah, so welcome to episode 44.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. And we did something fun, thanks to my sister who gave us some tickets that she couldn't use for a Sheryl Crow concert at the Chautauqua Institute.
Yeah.
So she gave us these tickets. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
Very nice of her.
Yes.
And we were surprised and thrilled to find out that our friends at Om Nohm
Gluten-free bakery
in Fredonia, New York, were actually vending food at the Sheryl Crow concert. And so we were able to get some really great vegan food.
Yes.
And some even better vegan desserts.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. The dessert was not to be missed. But
yes, she makes those moon cakes. They're fantastic.
The moon cakes are amazing.
Yeah, they're these chocolatey,
orangey, cardamom-y, cinnamony. Oh, just they're ridiculous.
Yeah, there's like a million flavors going on in your mouth.
Yeah,
and
absolutely fantastic.
There's like this wonderful frosting on them, and they're
like this
moist,
really dark chocolate ganache on the top. It's kind of unbelievable.
Yeah, they're amazing.
They are.
And then we had wraps. She made these vegan wraps, which were delicious.
Yes, and they were called.
No, I said delicious.
Oh, here we go again.
I'm banned from that word.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, well, these wraps were really good. They were out of this world.
And they were called the Tuesday Night Music Club.
Yes,
wrap.
The Tuesday Night Music Club wrap in honor of
Sheryl Crow. Yep.
Yeah, and the concert was great. Oh, I also got here's where I went wrong. I got a delicious cold brew maple almond cold brew coffee from Om Nohm. And I don't do caffeine. And cold brew is like caffeine. Hyper-caffeinated. But it was so delicious, I couldn't help, I sucked it down.
And you said delicious again. And I was either not paying enough attention or did not catch that she had just ordered a cold brewed coffee.
Yeah.
Because I was too busy and awing over my rosemary lavender lemonade, which was insanely good.
It was really different and not what I expected at all.
No.
And you could just get a hint of rosemary and a hint of lavender.
Perfect.
It was perfectly blended. The flavors were spot on. Like anytime, like you even said, you get kind of a
lavender and rosemary can be really soapy tasting.
Yeah,
if there's too much of them in anything.
Yeah.
But this was so good. The lemon was still the center of the flavor profile.
It was still lemonade.
With just this beautiful hint of lavender, and then the rosemary rounded it out. It was, I actually ordered it not expecting to like it. And I loved it.
It was incredible. Yeah. So back to my mistake, which was drinking this cold brew. So we find our seats. We wait in line. We find our seats. We sit through the first act, which was fantastic.
Southern Avenue. They were great.
Southern Avenue. They're like a bluesy, Motowny kind of sound.
Great.
And
Love
then Kev Mo came up and he did a awesome set of
Kev Mo was fabulous.
Yeah, he did an awesome set of blues.
Yes,
and then
he
Sheryl
did.
Crow came up. And as soon as Sheryl Crow came up, I started to feel antsy. Kind of the caffeine was kicking in.
Mm-hmm.
So about, I don't know, maybe a third of the way through Sheryl Crow's set, I start to feel like I'm going to get a panic attack.
Mm-hmm.
I start to feel dizzy, and it's all the caffeine. I know it's the caffeine.
And she can't sit still.
And I was incredibly thirsty, but we could not find water anywhere.
Right.
And so I sent Sam, first I went out looking for water and couldn't find any because they were vending water at the beginning of the show, but those people had
disappeared.
Since left.
Yeah.
And then Sam went out to find water and then came back
with
empty-handed.
Nothing.
And then went out again and finally found a little stand where they were selling.
Oh my gosh. Found a wonderful stand where they were selling water, but I had no cash on me. And
because it was cash only.
I believe so. And the absolutely wonderful young woman who was manning the water cart gave me 2 bottles of water.
You told her
for you.
My wife is in distress because she drank a very large.
Well, no, I didn't give her the whole story. I just said that, you know, my wife is in the midst of a panic attack and needs water. She's dizzy and needs water.
Yeah.
And she gave me 2 bottles of water. So
that was really sweet.
It was such a wonderful thing. Thank you.
Sam came back with
beautiful person.
Yeah, thank you very much. So Sam came back with the water, and I sat there for a little while, and then we decided it would be best if I got like out of being like squished in with people,
around people, and in a stadium where, I mean, our seats were kind of high up compared to the stage, and Christine hates heights.
Yeah. It wasn't the heights, though. It wasn't the heights that were bothering me.
I'm just talking about getting every possible variable.
Yeah.
You know,
I do sometimes when I get panic attacks, I get vertigo-ish. Mm-hmm. So it was maybe a good idea. So we went outside of the venue, and it's an open air auditorium.
Right.
So we could still see the concert and hear the concert. We walked around. I drank more water, and then we actually walked further up towards the stage, but outside of the what do they call it? It's not an auditorium. Amphitheater. Thank you. And we actually had a better view where we were standing.
Yeah, it was nice.
And we watched the rest of her set that way.
Yep.
But yeah, no more cold brew for me.
No. Yeah. But seriously, props to Om Nohm for both the food and the beverage.
Oh yeah, it was delicious.
Yeah.
I can't say delicious anymore, but I have to say it was delicious.
Right. So thank you, Jessamine, and all of the Om Nohm crew for a lovely, lovely meal. Oh, by the way, that slaw was fantastic.
Oh yeah, the wrap came with a little thing of slaw,
and I am a sucker for a good slaw.
Yeah.
So thank you for the slaw.
Yeah. So that's, if you're in the area, it's Om Nohm Bakery and Cafe. They're in Fredonia. They are currently not doing like in-store seating or anything.
Right.
But you can find them at farmers markets, and look on their website because she is all over. She has like a little...
all over the place.
She has like a little food truck.
Yep.
Or sometimes they just set up a tent, and her food is fantastic. If you're gluten-free, all of her baked goods are gluten-free.
All of her baked goods
Everything
is
gluten-free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, because we know that baking vegan is challenging enough.
Yeah.
Baking gluten-free is even more so,
Yeah.
I think. I think that's a trickier substitution.
Yeah.
The gluten. But then to make things both vegan and gluten-free and make them taste amazing, like these Mayan mooncakes.
It's a feat.
That she makes. It's a feat. So Jessamine's got it going on. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a fun thing that we did last week. And now, check this out. There's some really weird news in vegan news.
There is.
You want to tell them all about it?
Yeah.
It's kind of creepy.
It is kind of creepy. So the Turkish Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry has banned the production and sale of vegan cheese alternatives that look like, and I find this to be a very strange qualification, that look like traditional dairy cheese.
Right. So can you make a vegan cheese that does not look like a traditional dairy cheese?
That's what I'm thinking. You
make
just
it
have
purple.
Right. Make it purple. Make the slices, shaped like a...
triangular.
Yes. Yeah. Or, something. Just change the shape, people. But there's also legislation existing in Turkey that states that the term cheese cannot be used to describe dairy-free alternatives.
Right.
And this is, of course, the bogus... it'll mislead consumers argument.
It'll confuse people.
Right.
Like we can't read labels.
Exactly. So it's again the nonsense that even though something is very, very clearly labeled as plant-based, or it states the alternative ingredient, like for example, oat milk or cashew milk or almond milk or soy milk, It's again being purported by big agriculture, not by anybody else, but by big agriculture, that those labels are misleading and are confusing to the public.
Yeah.
I personally have never been confused.
No, neither have I.
No.
Yeah. In the whole thing it totally smacks of somebody's losing money that they've invested in the agricultural industry in Turkey.
Yes.
That's what it smacks of to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
That politicians are losing money.
Yep.
And I don't know, I'm not hip on how the political world works in Turkey. If it's anything like it is here, people lobby. The animal agriculture is a huge and wildly rich lobbying group.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I mean, they have a lot of money.
They do.
To put into the pockets of
and a lot of power.
Yeah.
But you see, the interesting thing is that they're also some of the most heavily subsidized industries in the country. So a lot of that money that they're getting is not money from sale of their product. It's subsidiary money, which means taxpayers' money.
Right.
So you and I are still paying for animal agriculture.
Yeah, we are. And that really sucks.
It really does suck.
But hey, knock it off, turkey. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're thinking. Vegan cheese is not going to ruin the world.
It's not.
I really don't understand. Vegan cheese does not confuse people.
No, I don't believe it does.
So, yeah.
But we will say that Turkey's Vegan Association has come forward and said that the ban on vegan cheese is a violation of rights for consumers and manufacturers of these plant-based products.
Yeah, they are filing.
They are fighting it.
Yeah.
If you got our newsletter last week, we talked about this a little bit and also directed you to the change.org petition asking that this ban be lifted.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera. So if you're interested in that, you can head over to change.org and look up the ban on the Turkish ban on vegan cheese.
Yep, and sign that petition.
Sign that petition.
It's really all we can do at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you signed the petition?
You know what? I haven't yet.
Oh, I have. Get on it.
I'm so sorry.
Get on it.
All right. So yeah, weird news. All right, we're gonna move on because we have a lot of fun to get into. So,
okay, bring on the fun.
Yeah. So I want to talk about this week's recipe for our vegan cookbook challenge. This week, we made a recipe out of the book called Eat Like You Give a Damn.
And again, of course, Christine is using the royal we because she made this. I did not.
Royal we.
Yes.
That's funny. Yeah, so the book is Eat Like You Give a Damn, Recipes for the New Ethical Vegan. And this book is written by Michelle Schwegmann and Josh Hooten of
our friends of Herbivore.
Of Herbivore Clothing Company. This is a fantastic book. Get your hands on this book. This book is filled with day-to-day vegan meals. If there's anybody that you know that's a new vegan, this is the book for them because there's simple, straightforward recipes in here. And there's something for every day of the week. It's awesome.
Fabulous.
Love this book. So what we made out of this book was their barbecued tofu or tempeh. You can use this same recipe for tempeh if you want to use tempeh. So I made the barbecued tofu and using another recipe that's in the book, the marinade, the tofu marinade, and then barbecued it on the grill. And then we made barbecued tofu sandwiches with slaw.
Oh, they were so good.
Slaw on the sandwiches.
Slaw on the sandwiches.
Because barbecue and coleslaw are a match made in heaven.
They really are. Have I mentioned that I'm a sucker for a good slaw?
Yeah, you have.
I believe I have.
And then we put them on.
We put it on a sandwich.
Yeah, we put them. We made the sandwiches with these wonderful Dave's bread buns that we got at Trader Joe's. Was it at Trader Joe's that we found those? Target.
Oh, no, it was Target.
Yeah, we found those at Target.
It was Target.
And I love that Dave's bread stuff.
Me too.
You know, it's covered in nuts and everything. And, and it was a perfect bun. I know we've talked in the past how we've made sandwiches or burgers or whatever. And the failure of the bun, either it's not substantial enough or it's way overdone. Or no, this was a perfect bun in size, in texture, in flavor. Rock on Dave's. It worked out really well.
It really did. It was a beautiful
love
sandwich.
This recipe.
Me too.
And I'm going to make this recipe again.
Yay!
I made more tofu than we needed because I used an entire package of, you want to use extra super firm.
Yep.
The vacuum packed type tofu works best, especially if you're grilling it. But I made the whole thing. So we had extra, and the next night what did I put it on a salad?
A salad for me. Yeah.
Turned out really good.
It did. It was fantastic, both on the sandwich and on the salad. Yeah. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend. Big thumbs up.
So grab this book. Again, it's Eat Like You Give a Damn, which I love. I love the title. Recipes for the New Ethical Vegan. And you can get this book at herbivoreclothing.com, or you can get it from the link that will be in our show notes or the link that's on our Instagram bio.
Cool.
Go out and get you this book.
Go out and get you the book.
All right, let's move on. We just got to power through this one, okay?
All right.
Because we're going to play Compassion and Cucumbers Top 5 Challenge. I'm picturing Marshall in How I Met Your Mother when they do that.
Yes.
The game show in the living room.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't
Lily,
remember.
spin that wheel. Yeah.
Yeah, so our top 5 challenge game. I'm going to pull up my answers. Do you have your answers on hand?
I do. They're right in front of me.
Okay, here are my answers. Would you like to go first? You know how this works. We do it one category.
Yes.
You say your 5, then you throw it to me.
Okay. Sure, I'll go first.
Okay. The first category is
vegan restaurants.
Vegan restaurants. Go.
Now, I read this as fully vegan restaurants.
Yeah, I kind of meant it as fully vegan restaurants.
Okay. Yeah. So I went with restaurants that I knew to be fully vegan. Okay. So there are many, many, many places where we have had food, amazing vegan food.
Right, but they're not
But
vegan.
they're not fully vegan, so therefore they have been left off.
Okay.
Of this
There's
list.
always a caveat with yours.
Usually, yes. Yes.
Okay, go.
Okay. So at the top of my list, and I do actually think that this is the top of the list, is Planta Queen.
No kidding.
Yeah. I mean, I still think it's the most exquisite vegan meal I've ever had.
Their food is really highly elevated. There's one in Toronto, there's one in Miami, and there's a Planta Queen in New York City, and I think somewhere else, like Nashville or
I'm not sure. We've
Birmingham.
We've only been to the Toronto Planta Queen, and the food is just stunning.
It is.
So flavorful, so beautifully balanced, so beautifully presented. Mm-hmm. It's just amazing. I honestly, I can still describe every little detail of the meal, that first meal that we had at Planta Queen a few years ago.
Now, was Planta Queen the very first solely vegan restaurant that we ever went to?
I think it was.
I think it was too. And I think that's why it sticks in our brains so much, because you're just looking at that menu and you're thinking, I can have anything on this menu. I don't have to ask the waiter. I don't have to question the sauces. It's just such a relief to go and be able to go to a restaurant and order food like everybody else in the world.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
And we hadn't been able to do that in a while. So it was a great experience.
Okay. What are the others?
Well, number 2, very, very close behind its sister, is going to be Planta China.
Okay.
I'm just a sucker for plantas.
Yeah.
And we have not visited all of the plantas in Toronto.
No,
we still have a couple more to go.
2 more that we haven't been to.
Yeah, so we still have to work on that. But Planta China, which we visited last September, was spectacular. I mean, right up there with Planta Queen in terms of the thoughtfulness of the menu and the flavors of the food, and just even the cucumber mule was amazing, and the dessert was phenomenal, and just
you could go on and on.
I really could. There's just nothing wrong with it. It's just so good.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So, yes, that's number 2. Yes. And then I feel like all other vegan restaurants that we've been to can kind of round out the top 5 in no particular order. I don't like any one of them more than any of the others.
Okay.
For example, first of all, Hello 123.
Okay.
Also in Toronto.
I forgot completely about Hello 123.
Love Hello 123.
Cute little diner.
That breakfast was just incredible. And I ordered something that I never would order as a non-vegan. It was anything, it had a hollandaise sauce. It was a version of a Benedict.
Yeah, it was their Benny.
And
vegan Benny.
It was so insanely good.
Yeah.
That beautiful lemony sauce, oh my God, just amazing. And their turmeric latte was
I forgot. They should
unreal.
be on my list, but I didn't put them on.
Yeah, so Hello 123 went on there. So wait, maybe I'll make them a solid number 3, and then everybody else can.
Yeah, Hello 123 is in the Parkdale neighborhood of Toronto, Canada.
Yep, fantastic. Then I'm going to clump together in no particular order.
Okay.
3 places.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait a minute. That makes 6.
That makes 6, but that's
You're always breaking the rules.
It's the way it's going to be. I'm sorry.
No substitutions.
Credit where credit is due. All right.
Okay, go.
So the 3 that I'm lumping together in the no particular order, 3, 4, 5, is Angel Heart's Diner in Ithaca, Good and Evil in Buffalo, and also Sunshine Vegan Eats in Buffalo.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
that's great. Our lists are very similar.
I would imagine, because we haven't been to that many fully vegan restaurants.
Right. I think Hello 123 would have been on my list had I remembered about it.
Shame on you.
I know. And I got like their like big breakfast kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
It was amazing.
It was.
Okay. Here's my list. And I'm going to go from the bottom up.
Okay, go for it.
Just to mix things up. Number 5 on my list is Sunshine Vegan Eats.
All right.
Number 4 on my list is Angel Heart's Diner in Ithaca, New York.
There you go.
Who recently has just started doing in-restaurant dining.
Ooh, that means we need to go back to Ithaca.
We do.
Post-haste.
Number 3 is Good and Evil.
Excellent.
Best vegan burger I've ever had.
I think I have to agree with that.
Get the cozy burger. I'm telling you, I'm not steering you wrong. I know their menu has a lot of stuff on it, but at least once you have to try the cozy burger. Get it hood dipped. Oh my God, he makes this amazing like mushrooms. I could go on. Number 2 on my list is Planta China. Great Mexican, huge menu,
fabulous.
Everything was delicious.
Yes,
get the empanada.
Oh, you
won't
must
regret
get
it.
The empanada. Yeah.
And number 1 on my list is Planta Queen.
Yeah.
My favorite meal at Planta Queen is the Dan noodles and their dumplings.
Yep.
Yeah. Delicious.
Yeah, the dumplings were fantastic.
Say delicious.
Oh, the dumplings were I mean, everything is fantastic. I mean, I've had both the Takai noodles and the Singapore noodles.
Yeah.
The Singapore noodles, I have to say, were viciously hot. Like,
spicy.
Oh my God, so spicy. I mean, to the point. And I have a very high spice / heat tolerance.
Yeah.
These were a challenge a little bit for me. So I actually kind of appreciated that.
Yeah.
But the Hakkai noodles are amazing.
I wanted to pause just for a moment, and if you could hand me my phone, I want to give a shout out to Sharon Janko, who did send me alternative words for the word delicious.
Hang on just a second.
But it's on my phone. Okay. So Sharon says, here are my synonyms for the word delicious. Flavorful, nice. Delectable, scrumptious, delightful. Oh, and she says, although she thinks delicious is the best one. So I'm using the best one. I just feel like I use it too often. So I'm going to try and squeeze some of these words in.
Okay, keep them in front of you.
Yeah.
So you have them to choose from.
Into things that I say.
All right, cool. I support that.
And thank you, Sharon. I really appreciate that.
While we're thanking listeners, we would also like to thank Kristen Kostowiak.
Oh, Kristen, yes.
For her absolutely beautiful email.
Yes.
Kristen is not vegan,
which I love. She's
love
not
that too.
vegan.
It's so great.
But one of her kids is vegan, and she listens to the show. And she just sent us this most lovely email, explaining how she's appreciating us giving her ideas and talking about restaurants. And just thank you so much, Kristen. Your email, and I know I said this in my response, made our day, but it very literally did make my day.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Thank you, Kristen.
Yes, so thank you so much for sharing your story with us. It's just great to hear from you. And great to know you're out there.
Absolutely. Okay, we're moving on. The next, it's so funny. I looked at this category and thought it said something else, and I wrote this. The next category is vegan YouTubers.
Yeah, and you're going to go first on this one, partly because I want to hear who your people are, but also my vegan YouTubers have already been revealed on a blog post on our website.
Oh, and if you remember that, may have ruined this a little bit for you. May have ruined the suspense.
It's okay.
But when I looked at my show notes, I thought it said vegan tubers. And I'm like,
potatoes, sweet potatoes, fingerling potatoes.
And I'm like, I don't
Those
remember.
Little bitty red potatoes.
I don't remember making a category about potatoes, but okay, I'm going with it. Okay, so vegan YouTubers. My top 5 vegan YouTubers, really in no particular order, but I'm going to start from the bottom up. Number 5 is Pick Up Limes.
Love her.
So
Sadia,
production value
love her.
is beautiful. Her videos are sparkling. The recipes are amazing. Number 4 is Mary's Test Kitchen. Mary is fun. She's really fun. It's kind of like watching. It's kind of like watching an elementary school teacher teach you how to make vegan. It's just something about her voice.
Okay,
it's very compelling. But
I don't think I've ever watched Mary's
and she's
Test
funny.
Kitchen.
She's funny, but her humor's really dry. You have to kind of really pay attention to what she's saying.
Okay.
So it's Mary's Test Kitchen.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Number 3 is the Viet Vegan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She's got great. A lot of great recipes on her YouTube and a lot of great recipes on her blog also. And then number 2 is the Vegan Zombie.
Of course.
Yep. Thank you, Chris. The Vegan Zombie is based in Syracuse, New York.
Yes.
Yep. And my number 1 is Sarah's Vegan Kitchen.
Nice.
Yeah. And I love Sarah's Vegan Kitchen. And I think it holds kind of a warm place in my heart because she was one of the very first vegan YouTubers that I watched. Mm-hmm. And she's super young.
Yeah.
She's only like 32 or something.
We had full-on Saturdays of watching nothing but Sarah's Vegan Kitchen.
Yeah.
Like going into back episodes and all of that. Yeah.
But she's like an old soul, you know?
She is.
I really enjoy her videos. And they're really honest. Like, if she's not feeling like cooking, she will say she's not feeling like cooking and that it was a struggle to make the video. And I super appreciate her honesty and that she doesn't put on a face.
No, not at all.
It's totally just her.
Yeah.
So that was my vegan YouTubers. What are yours?
Okay. So, we do, of course, have one in common, and mine also are in no particular order. But I will start also with Pick Up Limes for recipes and just general information on minimalism and lifestyle. And I just adore Sadia from Pick Up Limes. She's incredible. And so I could watch her channel just nonstop.
It's her channel's really soothing
and beautiful and kind of low key, and there's just a very chill vibe to it that I love.
I've watched her videos on nights that I couldn't sleep.
Oh, that makes sense
because her voice
is very soothing.
Yeah, it's very kind of lilty and just kind of soothes you. And,
it's your version of my Alt-Shift-X.
Right.
Yeah. If you guys don't know Alt-Shift-X, he is a British guy who does a lot of commentary, predominantly on Game of Thrones and A Song of Ice and Fire. Uh-huh. But he's branched out into other shows since that series went away. Yeah. I imagine he's gearing up for House of the Dragon when it comes out.
He's really funny, and his editing is amazing.
Super funny. His editing is fantastic, and his voice is just...
Yeah, it puts you to sleep.
Ridiculous. It puts me to sleep.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's great.
And it's mostly because you're watching videos that you've seen 3 and 4 times, maybe more.
Oh, we're into dozens of times. Yeah.
Because you just leave it on and let it run.
I just leave it on and let it run. Yeah, and because it's a long playlist, I just sleep to it. Yeah.
So did we do all of your YouTubers?
No.
Oh, keep going.
We only got to Pick Up Limes.
Oh my gosh. I'm not paying attention.
No, that's okay. And then, of course, we have the Happy Pair.
Oh, yeah.
Which are perhaps the polar opposite of Pick Up Limes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they are like 2 incredibly energetic Labrador puppies.
Yeah.
And they're absolutely fantastic. But Pick Up Limes, the Flynn boys from Greystones, County Wicklow, Ireland.
You said Pick Up Limes, but it's not. It's the Happy Pair.
Oh my gosh, yes, I did.
You meant to say the Happy Pair.
I did. Yeah. I did. Thank you for the correction.
That's okay.
So yes, so the Happy Pair are the Flynn boys from Greystones, County Wicklow, Ireland. They have their own coffee shop and grocery store, and also have a line of vegan products that are available in Ireland and the UK. Mm-hmm. And they're just really kind of great, positive, energetic, awesome.
Yeah, they're fun.
Type people. They're fun.
Really fun.
A lot of fun. Then I realized in my blog post that I did not mention a certain YouTuber that I absolutely love. Mm-hmm. But I was reminded because I just recently read his most recent book, and that is Earthling Ed, otherwise known as Ed Winters.
Ed Winters, yes. He's an amazing activist.
Amazing activist, just phenomenal. So when the activism bug bites me, I head straight for Earthling Ed, for sure. The other two are really just, for me, I love facts. Like, I really enjoy facts. Documentable, factual information is really great. And so nutritionfacts.org is a huge one for me. Dr. Michael Greger, I watch his videos very, very frequently. And he really does cover pretty much every nutritional question you could possibly have about a plant-based lifestyle, plant-based diet. So we love Dr. Greger. And then plant-based news. I absolutely love plant-based news. And their stuff, not only are they, reporting the vegan news from around the world, but they often do it in a very kind of funny and entertaining kind of way. Yeah. I love it when they go out on the streets of London and question people about veganism. It's always a good time.
Yeah, it's always a laugh. Yeah. They also have a very nice podcast.
Yeah.
Plant-based news.
Yep.
If you're looking for another podcast to listen to besides us. I mean, I know you just want to listen to us all day long, every day.
Yeah, I really doubt that.
So was that 5?
Yes, that was all 5. That was all 5.
Okay.
I promise.
Okay, next category, and you'll go first on this one.
I will.
Are top 5 vegan activists.
Yeah. Now, this one was tough. It really was, just because, 1, there are so many phenomenal people out there, and 2, I wasn't exactly sure what you were meaning by activist. Does that include, like, authors and...
yeah, absolutely.
Because then I have some crossover.
And I know. You always think too hard.
Yeah, that's what you tell me. All right. But anyway, for vegan activists, I'm going to go right for Earthling Ed at the top of the list. So Ed Winters is definitely up there for me. Carol J. Adams, author of The Pornography of Meat, among other titles. Yeah. Phenomenal. Just for intersectionalism between veganism and feminism. She's really not to be beat. Lauren Ornelas at the Food Empowerment Project, just because I love that organization so very much. I love the breadth and the depth of it, and I think she's astounding. I have not met her personally yet, unfortunately, but I've heard probably dozens of interviews with her by now, and she's just rather an astonishing being.
Yeah.
I also put on there Victoria Moran, who is the author of Main Street Vegan.
Right.
And has a vegan coach certification program now through Main Street Vegan.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And if you haven't read Main Street Vegan, I definitely recommend it. It's super accessible, and it just kind of talks about the fact that you really don't need to completely upend your life to go vegan.
Right. And that is definitely true.
It's definitely true. So it's a delightful read. I highly recommend. And then this last one, I don't know if it's, I just couldn't decide because there are so many people. And so I went with someone who I just have a soft spot for. Okay. And that's Ivana Lynch, who played Luna Lovegood in the Harry Potter films. And she is a very vocal vegan activist in the UK. So
no, I think that's awesome. I would never have thought to put her on my list.
Yeah. So I couldn't decide between a bunch of people, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going with Luna.
I'm putting Luna on the list.
I'm going with Luna. Yeah. So yes. So okay. We love you, Ivana.
Great. Okay. Here are my 5, and I'm starting from the bottom just to mix things up. On the bottom of my list is Mike the Vegan.
Oh yeah, I do like Mike the Vegan. Yeah. He's good.
He's got a great YouTube.
He does.
He always has a different angle on things, and he's always talking about something not everybody else is talking about.
Yep.
Then I have Lisa Ornelas from Food Empowerment Project. Or I'm sorry, Lauren Ornelas from, it's right in front of me. Oh no, I wrote Lisa. That's why I'm saying it wrong. Sorry, Lauren. Lauren Ornelas from Food Empowerment Project. Then I have Earthling Ed, of course, / Ed Winters. Then I have Andy Tabar from the Bearded Vegans.
Oh, gotta love Andy.
Yeah.
Yep.
He spent a good portion of his early journey of veganism going to college campuses and talking to people about how easy it is to become vegan. He also had like a ska punk band, and they would preach veganism everywhere they went. Yep. He would make a big thing of vegan chili at all of their shows, which is really cool. And my number 1 is the Cranky Vegan, a.k.a. Jake Conroy.
Okay, cool.
also has an incredible YouTube channel. And they have a new podcast out, too. So
nice.
Check
we'll
that out.
Check that out.
Yeah. So that's vegan activists.
Yes.
Moving on. Category.
How interesting
What?
that the cranky vegan is your favorite activist and you yourself tend to be a cranky vegan.
Maybe that's why I can relate.
That must be it.
No, Jake Conroy actually spent time in prison.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I know.
For things that he has done as an activist,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, absolutely. And all respect.
And we could do an entire episode on Jake Conroy.
And I'm
You
sure
really
at
could.
some point we probably will.
Yeah. Okay, the number 4 category, and you're starting this one, right? No, I'm starting this one.
I started the activists.
Is vegan sandwiches.
Oh,
We're switching gears.
Who doesn't like a good vegan sandwich?
Okay. Number 5 on my list from Snackrilage is Lord of the Wings.
That's a great sandwich.
Good sandwich.
Oh my
We
gosh.
had that at Vegandale in Toronto last year.
Yeah, we did.
Amazing.
Yes, that is the word. Amazing.
Yeah. Number 4 is a Beyond sausage sandwich with peppers and onions on a good sub roll.
Yeah, I can go for that.
I love that.
Yep.
It's easy to make. Everybody loves it. It's one of my favorites.
Gotcha.
Number 3 is tempeh bacon, lettuce, and tomato with avocado.
Nice.
Number 2 is a tofu salad sandwich made similarly to an egg salad sandwich.
Gotcha.
I love that.
Okay.
And then my number 1 is any vegan breakfast sandwich. But a highlight is Fraser's from Eat No Bones in
yeah.
Hamilton. His is especially good.
Yeah, that was especially good.
Yeah. But I love a good vegan breakfast sandwich.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Okay, go.
Okay. So for me, I'm going to start with number 5 as the tofurkey tempeh bacon and avocado sandwich. So just a loaded tofurkey sandwich with some tempeh bacon, some avocado, tomato, lettuce, like just the more
like a
veg,
club.
the better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a tofurkey club.
Yeah.
Love it. The next is the tempeh Reuben, which we made at home from Isa Chandra Moskowitz's Vegan with a Vengeance.
That was an incredible sandwich.
Yeah. That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
That was like, I think one of the first things that I made out of a vegan cookbook that Christine came home from work, because you were still working at the time.
Yeah.
And you were just blown away.
We're having vegan Reubens?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Once again, slaw on the sandwich.
Yeah, it's just something about it.
just
And
works.
that recipe has a really fantastic Thousand Island dressing that kind of puts it over the top.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Then I actually did 6 on this one as well, just because I couldn't decide
Why
between
can't you follow
the
the
two.
rules? Follow the rules.
No.
That's fine.
All right.
Top 5 or 6.
Yes. So number 3, even Good and Evil's Smack Burger, and Sunshine Vegan Eats' Vegan Naya.
Okay. Yeah, both
fantastic.
good sandwiches.
Yeah, both incredible sandwiches. Yeah. I'm going to agree with you on the Beyond sausage with peppers and onions on a good sub roll. Yep, love it. And my number 1 vegan sandwich is Upper Crust's Mediterranean panini.
Oh, why didn't I remember that sandwich?
I don't know.
Oh,
it's the ultimate sandwich.
It's so good.
So good.
So good. It has
pan-fried eggplant.
Yes, breaded and fried slices of eggplant and a vegan pesto and tomato and avocado and you can get cheese on it, but you
don't.
It
need
gets
it.
lost in the mix.
It
So
does.
don't even bother.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's an awesome sandwich.
That is.
You might even say that it's delectable.
Oh, it absolutely is delectable. Well done.
I consulted my list.
I know. I saw that.
Okay. Here are mine. Oh, wait. I
we
already
did
mine.
yours.
Okay, the next category. Why can't I keep track?
I don't know.
Game show host I am. Okay, the next category is top 5 vegan meat substitutes.
Okay, I struggled with this.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I struggled with this because for me
Because it's not specific enough?
Yeah, something like that, because there are 2 solid categories of vegan meat substitutes. I mean, on one hand, you're talking tofu, tempeh, seitan, falafel, kind of the more natural stuff. And then on the other side, you're talking Impossible, Beyond, Gardein, all that stuff.
Sure.
And so I didn't know
it could be a mix of those things. Even.
Yeah. Well, in my brain, I just decided that because tofu and seitan and tempeh and falafel don't necessarily need to be meat substitutes, and they're not necessarily cooked in a way that resembles meat products.
Okay. So
I went with the processed
products that you can buy.
That we can buy. Yes, that's where I went. Okay. Because to be honest, falafel and tofu and tempeh would pretty much win out over any of these on an everyday basis.
Yeah.
These are things that are treats.
Okay.
So anyway, at the bottom, and I did one for each kind of category. So I did one fish.
You always have to complicate things.
Well, no, just because I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway.
What are they?
All right. So my fish substitute is the Gardein fishless fillets. For deli meats, I like the smoked iteration of tofurkey and also beehive pepperoni.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Then for a chicken nugget substitution, I go with the Don't Be Chicken nuggets from Wegmans as my favorite. For a sausage, there's no comparison to Beyond's hot Italian sausage. It's just the best that we've had.
Yeah, so far, as far as a processed vegan Italian sausage, that's the best one that we've found.
Yes. And then for burgers, the ultimate burger really for me is an Impossible Burger. But it's impossible to eat an Impossible Burger regularly.
Oh, no, you don't want to do that.
It's not healthy. It tastes incredible, but it is not healthy. And so on a regular basis, if we were to have a burger, I would go with Wegmans Don't Have a Cow.
Those are really good.
They are very good, and they're much more nutritionally balanced, and there's far less saturated fat, far fewer calories. Like it's just a much healthier option.
Yeah. Yeah. So was that all 6 or?
It was actually 7, but
seven. Okay. Oh, here are mine. From the bottom up, from number 5 up, I have coming in at number 5, lentil walnut burger.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I love a good lentil walnut burger.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, tofurkey slices.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 is tofu.
In any variety.
Because, it can be used versatile in so many different ways.
Yep.
Number 2 is tempeh.
Mm-hmm.
And my number 1 vegan meat substitute is a very well done seitan. And I don't mean cooked well done. Mm-hmm. I mean done well.
Yes, done well, not well done.
I love it when I can get a seitan that's just like the texture is perfect, the flavor is perfect. Mm-hmm. You don't get that kind of a Vital Wheat gluten aftertaste,
Yep.
So that's my number 1.
Well, this is cool that you and I kind of went in completely opposite directions.
Yeah, completely opposite.
Yeah,
that's
funny. I appreciate that because you kind of listed all of my favorites on that side.
Yeah.
So, and I probably listed some of your favorites on this side. So,
you did. Covering all the bases.
Covered all the bases.
Okay,
Excellent.
so category number 6. And this one, there was a little bit of controversy in our house over this one. There was some hemming. There was some hawing. Is it hemming? Hemming. There was some hemming and there was some hawing about this next category.
Because it's not fair.
It's completely fair. And the category is books, any genre.
This is not fair because Christine does not read nearly as much as I do. And
reading makes me sleepy.
Yes, she falls asleep. Reading keeps me awake. So I can't read anything new like right before I go to sleep because I will stay up all night to finish the book.
She will read an entire book in like 4 hours.
Yes, I've done that. And so it's, to me, she's choosing from far fewer books than I'm choosing from.
Well, kind of. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, absolutely. You've read more books than I have.
So, that's why I feel it's not fair.
Okay, who goes first on this one? Oh, I do.
You do.
Okay. So starting from the bottom, my number 5 is a book called The Fan Man. It's by William Kotzwinkle. If you don't know who William Kotzwinkle is, he's the man who wrote E.T.
Oh.
But don't let that skew you. The Fan Man is nothing like E.T. It's not like science fiction or anything like that. The Fan Man is a book about a homeless man. It's amazing. And it's a quick afternoon read. It's not a very big book.
Well, I just love his last name. Kotzwinkle.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Number 4 is any book by Patti Smith.
Okay.
Either poetry or her like biographies or I love everything she writes. Number 3 are any biography about a musician, autobiographies or biographies about musicians.
See, now she's choosing whole categories of books.
Well, yeah, I couldn't narrow that one down.
I
could say the biography of George Harrison was a very good one.
Okay, you can go with that.
Number 2, Stephen King's The Stand.
It's a great book. I will admit.
Yeah.
It's a great book. Did not make my list, but it's a great book.
And my number 1 is The Great Gatsby.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's my list.
Very cool.
And I didn't hem or haw. I just wrote those down.
You did not. You did not.
Okay, what are yours?
Okay, so number 5, I kind of went with a category, and this is what I've been reading a lot of lately. Things like Animal Liberation by Peter Singer. This is Vegan Propaganda, which I just finished by Ed Winters. Dominion, The Ethics of What We Eat, et cetera, Main Street Vegan. So anything dealing really with veganism. And,
okay. So you too did like
ethics.
an entire category as one of your...
Well, yes, we're even because I did it twice and you did it twice.
There you go.
Okay. My next one is anything by Sarah Waters.
Okay.
So Fingersmith, The Night Watch, Affinity, Tipping the Velvet.
Yeah, I love her. I love her books.
Writing. She does beautiful historical fiction.
Yeah.
Usually with a queer viewpoint.
Slant,
and, yeah, queer slant. And her writing is just stunning. Like, absolutely gorgeous. I've read and reread her novels over and over again.
Yeah, and they're the kind of books you get your nose into it and you don't want to put it down. Yeah.
Yep. The next, and these again are in no particular order. It depends on the day. But I am a big fan of historical fiction, and so Trinity by Leon Uris made it up there. It's to deal with the Easter Rising. In Dublin back in 1916. And so then number 2, and this was a really hard 2 because it was very hard not to call this one number 1, The Handmaid's Tale. Margaret Atwood.
Oh, yeah.
Probably the best piece of dystopian fiction ever written.
Yeah.
And I am a sucker for dystopian fiction, just like I am a sucker for a good slaw.
Yeah.
I really am.
Good slaw and dystopian fiction.
Can't get enough. But yeah, The Handmaid's Tale. And
she's just such a brilliant writer.
She is such a, I mean, I should just say anything by Margaret Atwood.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what it has to be. But
yeah.
The Handmaid's Tale holds a very special place in my heart. And it's the book I've gone back to more and more and more than any of her others, but anything by Margaret Atwood.
Okay.
And then the last one is a nod to my love of high fantasy, and that is The Mists of Avalon by Marion Zimmer Bradley.
And you've read that one numerous times, right?
I have read it once a year since I was about 13.
Wow.
Yeah. It's an absolutely gorgeous story. It's a huge book. It's the story of the Arthurian legends as told through the viewpoints of the women, predominantly Morgan Le Fay and Queen Guinevere. And it's just beautiful.
Awesome.
I never get tired of it.
Well, see, you did it. You made a big deal, but you still came up with 5.
Oh, right. But there are so many others.
I know, but this is just like top 5, in the moment kind of things.
Fine.
Okay, category number 7, and you go first on this one.
I do.
Is vegan documentaries.
Okay. So I'm going to go from the bottom, and I'm going to go with Milked, which we saw recently. Okay. Relatively recently, about the New Zealand
earlier
milk
this year
industry. We reviewed it a while ago. So I'm going to put Milked on there. I am a fan of Cowspiracy, so I put that at number 4. One of our intros to... one of the pushes, actually, for us to go vegan, What the Health.
Right.
Which I love.
Right.
Last fall, we saw Eating Our Way to Extinction, which I thought was very, very well done. And then at number 1, I'm going to actually fess up and put a documentary that I actually can't get through.
And that is?
Dominion.
Yeah, Dominion.
I cannot get through the first 10 minutes.
I don't think anybody that is already vegan needs to watch Dominion.
Right. It's not for us.
It is not.
Because preaching to the choir like crazy. But I think it's so important.
Oh, it's an amazingly important film, but
and it's incredibly well done.
I can't watch it either.
But I tried again this morning to watch it, and I was in tears in the first
the footage
6 minutes.
Is
those
really
poor
hard
pigs.
to watch.
I just couldn't talking about it. Actually, is
yeah. But if there's anybody in your life that maybe gives you guff about being vegan or doesn't believe that the animal agriculture, I'm having a hard time talking today.
You are, but the animal agriculture industry?
Thank you.
There you go.
Is not as terrible and cruel as vegans make it out to be. You tell them to watch that film.
Yeah.
Dare them to watch 10 minutes of that film.
Yeah.
And then say the same thing.
Right.
You know?
And say, because the first 10 minutes are exclusively about pigs.
Yeah.
And I actually might even be more than that. I don't know because I can't get through the first 10 minutes.
I can't
So
either.
I only get up to pigs. And tell me you're going to eat bacon after that.
Right.
Like, really. I challenge you to stand in front of me and say, yeah, I watched that. And yes, I'm still going to eat bacon.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
It's really powerful stuff.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Here's my list. From the bottom, Game Changers.
That is a good one. I considered that.
Particularly because it appeals to men and it appeals to, I'm going to use a term that's kind of pigeonholy, but like jockey men.
Well, it appeals to athletes.
Athletic men.
You're really talking to...
manly men, right? It appeals to manly men. It appeals to parts of their body that could be affected by them eating meat. I'm just going to put it that way. And I have to say that film actually got a few of the manly men that I used to work with at a very large transportation company. Yeah, these are truckers, people, to attempt a vegan diet.
That's pretty cool.
Now, most of them didn't stick with it, but they tried. And that's something. That's saying a lot that this film moved them to do that.
Absolutely.
Number 4 is Forks Over Knives.
Yep. Classic.
Yeah, it's a good one. I like most of these films, I think, because they're really accessible and good to share with people, non-vegans.
Yep.
Number 3 is Meet Me Halfway.
Yep. That was an interesting one, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is a little controversial amongst vegans because he kind of says it's okay if you're not vegan all the way. If you can get, like his parents, he could get them to eat a vegan meal a few times a week. That was a good thing. That it didn't have to be all or nothing.
Well, and I agree
that some is better than nothing.
I do agree that some is better than nothing.
Yeah.
But and I did find that documentary intriguing, and I thought it was well done.
Yeah.
But I also think we need to.
Yeah.
Eventually, everyone needs to get on board.
I disagree with his theory.
Yes.
But I believe that this film is super accessible.
Absolutely.
And it's a good movie to watch with if you have family members that are not vegan. This is a good movie to watch with them.
For sure.
And number 1 is What the Hell? I'm sorry. I skipped one. Number 2 is Cowspiracy. And then number 1 is What the Health, because it did get us started on our vegan journey.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think it has for
a lot of people. Yeah. And I think what the health does really, really well is it brings in a very conversational way. And I think that's something that I really appreciate about Kip's documentaries is that they are conversational, that he's really presenting himself as just a regular old guy. And, I this is what I went through and this is the research I did and this is what I found out.
Yeah, he comes across as just a regular guy and he wants answers to these questions and he's calling companies and trying to get answers to his questions.
Absolutely. But I think What the Health in particular, as much as I enjoy Cowspiracy and Seaspiracy as well, but I think What the Health does very, very well is ties in not only the animal welfare, but also the health issues and also the environmental issues.
It has a little bit of everything. It sprinkles a little bit of everything.
Yeah. And so I think it's a really great intro documentary for anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next category is top 5 pizza toppings.
We're back to food.
Back to food.
You start this one.
I got to get my word list. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
No, number 5 on my top 5 pizza toppings is tomato.
Really?
Yeah. I like fresh tomato on a pizza.
That's so fun.
Number 4 is broccoli.
Okay.
I love broccoli on a pizza, especially if it gets a little toasty.
I'm with you.
And number 3 is bell pepper. Bell pepper, or even better than that,
roasted.
I'm going to put a slash there. Roasted red
pepper. Yeah.
Number 2, black olives. And my number 1, which is really not number 1, onion. But I just like what onions bring to a pizza.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Kind of an acidity.
Yeah, our lists are quite similar.
Are they?
Yeah, they really are.
When Sam read this category, she's like, well, why don't I just like write down every vegetable I know?
Yes.
Because that's what I put on my pizza.
Yeah, I will put every vegetable that's available to us on a pizza.
Okay, what is your list?
Oh, well, interestingly, at number 5, fresh tomato.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
We share that one.
We
Twinsies.
do. Twinsies. At 4, I have spinach.
Okay.
3 is broccoli. 2 is peppers and onions because...
Oh, okay. As
one
thing.
without the other? Nah, not so much. And number 1 is black olives.
Black olives is number 1 on yours. Okay. I do love olives on a pizza.
Olives on a pizza are just where it's at.
I just made homemade pizza last week. Was it last week? Yeah.
Yeah, it was last week.
I ate the leftovers for lunch today.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But I forgot to put olives on it.
You did.
And I think we do have some black olives.
We do.
Shame on me.
It's okay.
Okay,
Happens.
our next category. That was a quick one. Category number 8 is... Who goes first? You go first?
Wait, no. We just did 8. 8 was pizza toppings.
Oh, I'm sorry. Category number 9.
Musical artists.
Musical artists, and you go first.
This, I again feel, is just not fair.
I get a lot of guff. When I mail out the top 5 list.
Christine and I both have very wide, very deep musical backgrounds.
I think everybody does.
And it's impossible.
I won't say everybody, but a lot of people have, a wide variety of musical styles that they like. And
yeah, absolutely. But it's just, I don't know. But you being a musician and me being a dancer, I think maybe we have deeper connections to music than, the average person.
I'll accept
and
that.
we also maybe have wider knowledge of music than the average person. Like your pop, rock, punk knowledge is far beyond anything I would ever be aware of. And I think that I have the same thing going on the world music.
Absolutely.
And because that's what I love most. But so this was very, very hard. So I just kind of went with go-tos. Like, who do I go to?
That's what I did.
In
what
certain
I did.
Moods.
I just, in my head, I just said, when I pick up my phone or whatever and I want to put something on Apple Music while I'm cooking or something, what do I choose?
Right. Okay. So that's kind of where I went. And so at number 5, I have Florence and the Machine.
Nice.
Yes. Love her voice. Music. The musicianship is just phenomenal.
Oh yeah. She's amazing.
There's not a miss on any of her albums.
Nope, not one.
Really totally fabulous. And this, for me, Florence feels very much like summer music.
Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it?
Florence is really summery for me.
Yeah.
Let's see. Number 4, my favorite little folk singer, Anita Franco.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Can't leave her out of that list.
Nope. Oh, that reminds me. I do have her. They did a special vinyl release of the Living in Clip set.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's actually in the mail now. Should be coming shortly.
Ooh.
Looking forward to that because it was a pre-order. And I actually, when I got the email, I completely forgot that I pre-ordered that because it was months and months and months ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
That they announced that you could, pre-order it.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
So, yeah, that'll be fun.
Very, very
I'm sorry
cool.
to interrupt. Okay.
No, that's all
Moving
good. And again, these are in no particular order with the possible exception of the last one.
Okay.
At number 3, I have Lorena McKennett.
Oh, yeah. We saw Lorena McKennett when we were in Toronto.
Yes.
A couple of years ago.
Yes. For those of you who don't know, Lorena McKennett is a Canadian singer, harpist, keyboardist, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, she is a Canadian icon.
She is a Canadian icon.
People in Canada love her.
She's amazing. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. I discovered her in about 1990, and I have not grown tired of her since. I just love her music. I use it when I teach a lot because it's frequently influenced by both Celtic and Middle Eastern music, both of which I adore.
It was an amazing concert. Her band is so good.
So good.
Yeah.
One of the best concerts I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Okay. At number 2, and this again, depending on the mood, is really interchangeable with Lorena McKennett in terms of placement, is Lisa Gerrard and or Dead Can Dance.
Oh, yeah. We had tickets to see Dead Can Dance in Toronto, but they canceled due to
Well, we still have tickets to see Dead Can Dance in Toronto when they reschedule.
They haven't rescheduled yet, though.
There's no date
Okay.
yet.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
So we still might be able to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
And again, that's a real connection for me because I've used both Lorena McKenna's music and Lisa Gerrard's music. Oh, and Donnie DeFranco's music choreographically.
Yeah. The interesting thing about Lisa Gerrard is that she actually made up a language. She has her own language. Yes. She sings, and you would think you don't need to know what the words are.
No, you don't.
It completely conveys what she's trying to get across.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And she's one of my favorite voices in the world. Right up there with Azam Ali, who did not make this list.
Okay. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Yeah. And my number one on musical artists, this is really, if I had to pick the band that is the soundtrack of my life, there is only one, and it is REM.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Yeah. Can't. Yeah. All hail Michael Stipe. And Bill Berry.
Yeah.
And
all the guys.
Yeah. Bill Berry and Peter Buck and Mike Mills.
Yeah, it's a shame that they're not together anymore.
It really is, because I just love them. I mean, I will go for periods without listening to them, and then all of a sudden I'll hear one song and I'll be like, why am I not listening?
I remember that you had one day where you were like in your back room in your office area back there, and you were listening to REM, and you for like a few hours, and you're like, I just thought to myself, why haven't I been listening to REM all day long?
Yeah. Crazy.
Okay, here's my list.
All right, go for it.
Favorite top 5 musical artists, starting with number 5, Aretha Franklin.
Nice.
Yeah. Aretha is just something I put it on. It's on my Apple Music all the time. I put her on all the time. Number 4, Richie Havens.
Oh, good.
I love everything that Richie Havens does.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Number 3 is The Pretenders.
Oh, yeah. You and Chrissy Hynde.
Yeah. Yep. Another concert that we had tickets to see and got canceled because of COVID. And they never rescheduled that one.
No, they didn't.
No. They refunded our money, though, which was nice.
Thank you.
Number 2 is Jimi Hendrix.
Oh. Yeah.
Gotta love Jimmy.
Gotta love Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yes.
As a guitar player, I have to have Jimmy on my list. It's
of course.
Just kind of
no, that's a
prerequisite.
Absolutely.
And number 1 on my list, funny enough, is Florence and the Machine.
Woo!
So we did have a match.
We did have one match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
Cool.
Go Florence.
All right. So here is our final. I can't believe this. We're just over an hour. This is great. We're speeding through this. Our final category is top 5 places that you've traveled to.
Yep. And you're the starter for this one.
And I start this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Coming in at number 5, Cape Cod.
Nice.
I haven't been there in years and years, but I went with some friends to Cape Cod and Provincetown years and years and years ago. It's so beautiful there.
It is.
Number 4, all of Ireland.
The entirety of Ireland.
Which we have pretty much seen. I mean...
Well, we've seen all around the edges.
All around the edges, yes.
We haven't gone to the center yet.
Yes, but... and Northern Ireland. Yeah. Number 3, is that where I am? London and the surrounding areas.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Number 2, British Columbia.
Yeah.
And the Pacific Northwest area.
I have
completely
not yet
beautiful.
been to British Columbia, and we really need to rectify that.
We were just watching, I don't know if you watch this show, but we were just watching the show Alone, where they dropped survivalists off, and they are currently in
British Columbia.
Super rugged area, beautiful, mountainous, rugged area of British Columbia. It is the most beautiful country.
It is.
I mean, not like British Columbia is a country, but I got what you're saying. The landscape is just amazing.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, and then funny enough, the number 1 is the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, well, there you go.
So I kind of gave it away with my last one.
Yeah,
because the Pacific Northwest and British Columbia kind of go together for me.
They really do.
Because I had an uncle that lived in the Pacific Northwest, and we would travel north to Canada when we would visit him.
Gotcha.
Just so amazingly beautiful.
Gotcha.
And that's the end of my list.
Nice.
What do you have?
Well, I vacillated a little bit between countries and cities.
Okay.
So actually I only have one city on my list, and the rest are all countries. So at number 5, I'm going to go with the Netherlands.
Oh, the Netherlands. Okay.
Yes. I was fortunate to do my study abroad in Holland. I was living in Rotterdam, but I found it to be not only did I love Rotterdam itself, but it was a great jumping off point for travel to other places. I spent a lot of time in Belgium, and I love Belgium. And so I kind of want to put the Netherlands / Belgium.
Because I want to go to Belgium.
They kind of go together for me.
Well, I think we would love Belgium together because you love chocolate and I love beer. So
and cheese.
Yeah, I don't know about their vegan cheese, but
I don't know. Well, I don't know about their vegan chocolate either.
Oh, yeah. I bet there's vegan chocolate.
There must be. Yeah, there has to be. Anyway.
Moving on.
Number 4 is a city, the only city on the list, and that's Prague. in the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Probably the most fun I have ever had walking around a city, getting lost and trying to find my way back again while encountering absolutely no one who spoke English. It
Right?
was amazing. It was such a phenomenal experience with just so much laughter, and I just ran into so many wonderful, wonderful people. And we found ways to communicate that did not require language.
Yeah.
And I thought that was very, very cool.
Can I stop you just for a moment? Because I have to take a bio break.
Okay.
I know we're in the middle of the list, but...
And we're in the middle of the last list.
I know. Hang on, people. And we're back. Okay, continue your list. I'm really sorry for interrupting.
Okay, so we had at number 5, the Netherlands/Belgium. We had at number 4, the city of Prague in the Czech Republic. Then third for me is, I want to say the United Kingdom, but I haven't yet been to Scotland, so I can't include Scotland. So really, it's southern England and Wales.
Oh, yeah.
So London and the surrounding areas, into the English countryside, and then Wales.
I want to see Wales.
Oh, Wales is so beautiful.
Yeah.
I love Wales. Yeah, amazing. And then number 1 and number 2, it really depends on the day, because I feel like almost 50% of my soul belongs to each of them.
Okay.
On a regular basis.
Okay.
And those 2 places are Ireland and India.
Right.
And I just adore them both so much.
So it's a slash. Ireland slash.
No. I had India at number 2 and Ireland at number 1.
Well, that sounds right.
But
they're interchangeable depending on the day.
They're so close. It's like 55-45 in favor of Ireland, just because that's the homeland.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's just something about India that speaks to me really, really deeply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that's it. That's our top 5 list. All 10 categories, and we're just over an hour. I love it. We sped through it.
We did. And the thing is, it'll probably be slightly under an hour with editing, particularly given the bio break.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Who wants to do the housekeeping?
I don't know. Who wants to do the housekeeping? You're the Frau.
Okay, so I'm checking my outline, and I just have to make sure that this happened. Did fun ensue? Because it says top 5 game, fun ensues.
I don't think that's for us to say. I think that's for the listeners. So
I'm hoping that fun ensued for
please
all
let
of,
us know if
all
fun did in fact ensue.
Okay, so I'll do the housekeeping, I guess, since nobody fessed up. Western New York Veg Fest is coming up. It's August 7th, and this year it is completely free to the public. So there's
cool.
No reason for you not to go. It's at Buffalo Riverworks. We're going to see you there. We'll have a table. We'll be vending. Come up, say hi, give us a hug. Love it.
Yes, please.
Donate to our Mockingbird Farms Animal Sanctuary fundraiser on our Buy Me a Coffee site. It's buymeacoffee.com/cucumbers. Sign up for our newsletter if you haven't already.
Yes.
You'll be getting a weekly newsletter. And it's all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah.
Sam is writing them, and she's a brilliant writer, so you won't be disappointed.
Thank you.
Subscribe to the show.
Oh, yes, please.
On your podcast app of choice. Rate and review us on your podcast app if you could. That helps us get a place in the algorithm. It just makes us more available.
Visible.
It helps our visibility, so more great people like you can find us. And last but not least, the call to action that I am going to say in every show now: share the show with a friend or a family member.
Alrighty then,
if you will.
Okay.
Thank you. And I think that's it.
I do think that's it.
All right, we're going to wrap it up.
All right.
Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. I hope you have a fabulous week, and we will see you on the flip.
Next Tuesday.
Same bat time, same bat channel. And can you hear Sam rolling her eyes right now? Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye. If you'd like to support the Compassion in Cucumbers podcast, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/cucumbers and buy us a cup of coffee. Thanks so much for listening and for supporting us in what we're doing. We're really having a good time with it.